Hey, what's going on, guys? This is White Chaos, and welcome back to another video! So today, guys, I'm going to be showing you the weekly vendor reset for December 23rd, 2016. So I'm going to be showing you all the great items. Even if they're somewhat decent and I feel like I need to show you guys, then I will show you guys those items. I'm not going to be showing any bad items because what's the point? I'm not going to waste your time with that. I'm not going to waste my time with that as well. But if you guys end up enjoying the video, don't forget to drop a like on it and subscribe to the channel for more daily division content. Let's get right into whatever they're selling. Over here in the base of operations at the gear vendor, it's a prototype performance mod and it gives you plus 5% pulse duration. Over here in the base of operations at the advanced weaponry vendor, we have a 93R that I'd probably want to pick up. Of course, it comes with expert and the talent comes with brutal, but if I were you, I would probably want to get harmful on there, unless you want to have brutal, which is a pretty viable option as well. Right below that is the MP5ST. It's decent, it's got competent, accurate, and brutal. I would probably reroll competent for like destructive or something else. I think destructive is probably the one you want to go for, or responsive. This would probably be great for an Alpha Bridge build. Over here in the terminal at the special equipment vendor, he's selling a few items that I think are pretty good. First off, this custom P416G3. It's decent. The enemy armor damage isn't a lot, but this weapon is still pretty good nonetheless because it comes with Unforgiving and Fierce in the free slot. You can probably reroll the top one to something more viable to use. Down here a little bit more, the Vest of the Nomad is 1258 stamina roll, 1100 armor, and it's already got ammo capacity, so I would just reroll health or protection from elites on there, whatever you like to run on that. Another Alpha Bridge chest that is pretty good this week. They sold a pretty good one last week in DZ06 Safe House. So here's a good one as well. Not as good as the one last week, but it's still pretty good. 1240 stamina roll. You can re-roll health on there or whatever you want there. It's got armor already rolled onto it and ammo capacity. Down a little bit further, the Striker's holster, it's rolled pretty well with the electronics almost being maxed out. Already rolled into armor, so if I were you, I'd probably re-roll that stamina into the 1200s, and the firearms looks pretty well for that. A Hunter's Faith holster, which has really good rolls all around. Only thing I'd want to change on here is the firearms. Over here at the Cavern Safe House, he has a prototype performance mod, which grants 4% sticky bomb damage, so if you guys like doing those types of builds, you can definitely come pick this one up now. Over here at the meat locker in the safe house, we have a police Mark 17 with Toxic, Ferocious, and Unforgiving. You can definitely re-roll Ferocious into something better. It's got these main stats rolled onto it. I think it's pretty decent, so definitely pick it up if you are into sniper builds. Over here at the Ward Safe House, we got two items that I think are pretty decent. If you guys are still looking for a specialized backpack, you can buy that here. You can probably re-roll the major attribute to either armor or skill power, however way you like to go. And if you don't like to go either way, you can re-roll the minor attribute into ammo capacity. But I would probably re-roll the major into something better. It's already got very high firearms, so you're good on that standard. Down below a little bit more, we have a prototype performance mod, which gives you 5% pulse duration. Over here at the Southpaw Safe House, we have a prototype electronics mod, which gives you 248 electronics and 254 armor. So I would say this is pretty good for those high skill power builds. You definitely want to pick this up this week. Over here in the Dark Zone at East 46th Street, we have a Gunslinger holster, which actually has the talent recovered. I know it's not the best talent there is, but it's still a pretty decent one. And it has very high rolls all across the board. 1270 firearms, 1255 stamina, 1217 electronics, and you can re-roll the major attribute into armor, and that would be pretty good to do. Over here in the Dark Zone at East 34th Street, we have a Super 90 that I would say is pretty good for PvE purposes. It has these decent stats on it. It's got destructive, predatory, and capable, so if you guys are into PvE and you like using shotguns, I would definitely suggest picking up this Super 90 this week. Over here in the Dark Zone at West 31st Street, we have two items that I think are pretty decent. An Operator Vest, which gives you Robust. I know it's no Vigorous or Reckless, but it comes with 1262 stamina, 1232 armor, 56% ammo capacity, and you can re-roll protection from elites. You can either keep that on there, or if it was me, I would re-roll health onto there to get the toughness even higher. And then also below that, we have 5.5% sticky bomb explosion radius. Alright guys, so over here in the Dark Zone at 5th Avenue, we have probably the best item that's going to be being sold this week. We have a God Roll Military SA-58. 23% enemy armor damage, 25.8k base damage, you guys know the rest. Comes with Vicious, Unforgiving, and Destructive. I'd say this is a pretty good combination of talents myself. It would work perfectly, just magnificently in an Alpha Bridge build. A lot of people are using that lately, so hopefully this will be a weapon for many of you to buy. Over here in the Dark Zone at West 34th Street, we got two items that I think are pretty decent. A Spec Ops pack rolled into stamina already in the 1200s. Major attribute being 13,000 skill power, and minor attribute being the 53% ammo capacity. If I were you, I would either re-roll the stamina into firearms or change the major attribute to armor. I almost forgot, below that we have a prototype performance mod which gives you 6.5% Seeker Mine explosion radius. Over here in the Dark Zone at West 39th Street, we have two items that I think are pretty decent. This classic M60 with Fierce, Prepared, and Deadly. I would of course probably re-roll the first talent for Destructive. I just love Destructive, one of my favorite talents nowadays. And also below here, right here, we have a prototype performance mod which gives you 4.5% ballistic shield damage resilience. That would work perfect with you guys running the defense build. Over here in the Dark Zone at West 42nd Street, we have another God Roll weapon, the Tactical ACR, 21% enemy armor damage, 19.2k base damage. Comes with Responsive, Deadly, and Competent. This is a very, very good group of talents to have. But if I were to make one small change, I would definitely replace Deadly with either Brutal, Destructive, or Vicious, or whatever you guys want. I think it's a very good weapon nonetheless. And down from that a little bit more, we have a Prototype Performance mod, 5% Ballistic Shield Damage Resilience. Over here in the Dark Zone at West 46th Street, we have a Gunslinger Vest with 1272 firearms. That's actually the max you can roll onto it. It's robust, increased armor while uncovered by 10%. I already went over one of these earlier in the video, but this one's even better. The major attributes, all you need to roll on there is either health or damage from elites, you know, whatever you want. But it's already got armor and ammo capacity, and I think it's a pretty good piece nonetheless. Over here in the DZ03 safe house, we got three weapons which I think are pretty decent. If you guys are still looking for a sidearm with Harmful already on it, we have the military M9 right here. That would probably work for you guys' needs. Down a little bit more, the classic AK-47. It's got really low enemy armor damage, but it does have Vicious and Competent already rolled onto it. This would probably just be used for an Alpha Bridge set, but unless you guys want to rock it as a main, I think it's actually pretty decent, other than the enemy armor damage right here. Down a little bit more, we have the classic M60. Comes with Unforgiving, Fierce, and Brutal. I would re-roll Fierce into something more viable to use. Over here in the DZ06 safe house, there's only one item that I'd really want to suggest, and that's the Defense Holster with 1219 firearms, 1191 stamina, and 1267 electronics. The major attribute you'd probably want to re-roll into armor. I know it's not the best holster there is for defense, but it's still a very good one if you guys are looking for one. Last but not least, over here at the DZ04 safe house, we have a prototype performance mod that gives you 6% first aid self-heal. So that's going to cover it for this week's vendor reset for December 23rd, 2016. It was a very poor week, very, very poor week for the division. There are not that many good items being sold right now. The only two that I came across that were actually really good, but potentially almost God roll. I don't know. In my book, they're God roll to me, so don't hate on me for that. The ACR and the SA58, those are the only two items this week that I think are really, really good and that you should go for. But other than that, all the other items that I showcased, they're pretty decent as well, but not as good as the two that I just said. But if you guys enjoy the video, don't forget to drop a like on it and subscribe to the channel for more Daily Division content. Hopefully next week it's going to be a lot better. It is Christmas, for Christ's sake, and we were greeted with this just shitty week of practically nothing. But I don't know, hopefully next week it'll be better. So I guess I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.